What's up, Dream Media family? This is Zach. Welcome back to another episode. Today, we are going to be doing a review of the brand new Josh Cinema remote. I'm going to be bringing on Chase, our regional sales manager here in Colorado, and he's going to give you the lowdown on all of the industry-leading tech that's packed into this puppy. If you would like to purchase, reach out today for your free consultation or shop online at dreammediaav.com. Let's go!
Hey Zach, thanks for bringing me on. Yeah, we are back and we are breaking down the slickest, most modern AV control remote in the game, guys. You may have a control system, it may have sounded super forward, and then you got what looked like a cable box remote from 2003. That is not the case anymore. So we've gone to an Android-based platform with the Josh remotes. It's essentially a tablet turned into a remote. Okay, so it has all the capabilities of a modern touchscreen device while being focused for AV remote control. Josh has two SKUs currently in what will become the higher class of remotes. It's the only thing out. They're coming out with the Josh Edge remote. We will have our hands on that very quick at release date. And that will be a Bluetooth remote about the floor plan of a Roku or an Apple remote with assignable buttons. You put lights on there, shades, you can focus it just for media control. It's gonna be sweet. But in the touchscreen line, the luxury line of their remotes, there's two options: the Josh Home and the Josh Cinema. Today we're going to be breaking down Josh Cinema remotes. Differences between the Home and the Cinema are solely up to the end user. Same capabilities. The Josh Home remote is fully touchscreen. The Josh Cinema remote has tactile buttons. I tend to lead towards the Josh Cinema in almost any media zone. I don't like looking down at the remote. When you have a touchscreen, or let's say you're controlling your Apple TV with your iPhone, you always have to look. There's no tactile response feel from the buttons on a touchscreen. This blends both seamlessly. If I'm looking at the remote, I use the touchscreen. If not, I can, move left or right on the Kaleidoscape. You can see it in the background, I'm not looking at the remote. You can go ahead and click on my movie, play it, whatever you need. So without further ado, we're gonna get a close-up of this guy and explain how it works.
All right, guys, so we got Chase set up here with a really nice visual so that he can explain these remotes to you guys. We're gonna do our best to provide some really high quality graphics. Comment down below and let us know how we're doing. All right, Chase, take it away.
All right, guys, so we are here with, we have two of the same remote laid out in front of me, the Josh Cinema remote. Originally, this theater had a home remote when that was the only model that Josh offered. As soon as they dropped the Cinema remote, this homeowner upgraded, and then we sold that home remote. But essentially, if you had a home remote instead of a Cinema, you'd have a much larger touchscreen, about an inch larger, and no button field at the bottom. All of your controls would show up on the bottom half of that touchscreen. The Cinema remote gives us the best of both worlds: a touchscreen remote and physical buttons, but they're not your grandmother's physical buttons. This is an actual interactive touchscreen down here. You can kind of see these sections highlighting as I'm pressing them. And it's got this really, this is just a touch, but it's got this spinning wheel graphic that just looks incredible. So why do I have two of these remotes here? One shows you the base state. This one's attached to the living room, which is off. So as you can see, there's no external controls there. This other one on the left is our theater remote, which is actively on the Kaleidoscape. So you see Kaleidoscape selected, and we've got all of our buttons here for controlling the Kaleidoscape: play, pause, fast forward, rewind, volume up, mute, volume down, back, as well as menu. And then our directional keypad is this funky, really cool looking circle thing there. Okay, so we'll break down the remotes that are in a room that's not doing anything. So as you can see here, living room is off, okay? Whereas the theater one will have that power icon without a slash through it, stating that the room is on. This background photo was chosen by the homeowner, is fully assignable. You can take a picture and upload it. You can AI generate an image. You can upload your favorite image of your favorite mountain range or whatever you want the background of the remote to be. That's completely customizable. I've got my, what looks like an outlet there. That's Josh's device button, as you may recognize from some of the other Josh videos. So in the living room here, now I can see all of my shades, all of my lights, a summary of the whole area, So quick button, you know, a quick all on lights in the living room. You saw all those update to 100%. We can turn them all down. We can turn them all off. Same thing for the shades. They're open. We can close all the shades. I just put them to about 50%. So you get your device control still, right? I can come over here and see all my scenes. Easy, you know, it takes one button to get to your scenes from the home screen. I've got my mic button, a touchscreen button, and then my select a source. So here's where the living room is just powered via a Roku and a soundbar. So living room Roku is going to be the only thing I select. So I can select the living room Roku here, and in a second or two, it's going to update. Yep. See that, guys? I've got my apps, my most used apps. I've got more actions. I've got a keyboard for typing in. That's something a lot of the control systems don't offer, right? So I can hit a search bar on the Roku, meant to hit bring up a keyboard, open up the text. That's going to translate to the text descript on your, whatever your source is, Apple TV, Roku. Cool. Yeah. So now that I'm here, you guys can see, we'll go ahead and hit this icon button here, and I can go ahead and just select Apple TV, Netflix, YouTube. So that's constantly refreshing with your device, and you can reorder these. So as you can see, our homeowner here uses YouTube TV primarily, then Netflix, then Disney. That's the order they show up. Okay, you can organize that. You can see all of your apps on the Roku, however you like it. That's just their simple call upons. Again, you could always say, watch HBO Max. Opening Max.
Wow.
Okay, show TV. Now I'm back on my controls. Again, as you guys can see, this whole bottom has updated here. So now I've actually got my Roku controls, my home button, my back, fast forward. They map it as consistent as possible across all platforms. So the Apple TV is going to have the same display as the Roku. So you don't have to know what your content is. You just, once you kind of figure out the couple buttons on the remote, it works across all of them. So a couple ways to turn it off. Voice, I'm just going to hit the power icon at the top, and you'll see this update. Now there's no source selected. There's no buttons down here. There's nothing to control. We're going to jump over to the theater remote now and kind of dive more into the display. Something I did want to talk about, there's two configurations to run these remotes in. Standard, which is how this theater remote is set up, where it's only got access to the Josh app. It never leaves it. It's simple. If that's what you want your remote to do, that's the homeowner wanted, there's no way for the kids or anyone to leave the Josh app here. This remote is from my house, and I'm a lunatic, so I don't always want this to be locked into Josh. I paid for a tablet. I want a full tablet. It's a Google-based OS platform, so I can actually leave the Josh app on this remote. I can open up I have my Sonos there just in case I want to go into the Sonos app for some reason. Play Store, Google Chrome, can search the internet. You could also download games, so I can go ahead and play Angry Birds or whatever you want. Something really cool, the remote comes stocked in the lock configuration. Your integrator can set that up to be a fully fledged tablet for you. Without further ado, I want to jump into this Kscape integration a little more. Okay, so again, our buttons are a little different here. The only thing that's different here is our play is a play pause now on the Kaleidoscape, because for Rokus and Apple TVs, the select button is typically your pause play, right? So I've got my fast forward, my volume up, mute, down, quick commands. Now what I didn't talk about are the physical metal buttons on the side of the remote, much like any Android tablet or phone would have. I have a volume slider on the side.
Oh, I like the slider.
Okay,
nice.
Right? And I can hit mute here. I can interact with the touchscreen as well, guys. So however you choose to do it, this is probably the most inefficient way to do it, but you can bring up the volume slider and then unmute it, mute it right there. But for that, you know, if that's what you're trying to do, I would just use these buttons. When I'm sitting with this remote in my hand in my house, that's how I'm controlling volume typically.
I would use nothing but that.
Yeah, the up down slider. And go ahead, Zach, you press the volume buttons right there, press and hold it up and down, and listen to you're getting a feedback response.
A vibration.
Yeah, on every tick up. So you're getting that visual display on the screen. You're getting the tactile display on the remote display, as well as that vibration feel that you are actually changing something on the system. So that is my most common used button on the remote, the volume remote. The other one we have We talked about the mic command button there. You also have a physical command button on the side. Keep your eyes on this spinning wheel here. Watch Netflix.
That's so cool.
So you get that kind of rainbow, really cool looking effect when the video command comes through. And on the camera looking at the screen, you can see that we've switched over not only from the Kscape, but it knows to go to the Roku. It knows to open up our Netflix account. And you can get even more micro with that by calling on show titles on some of the apps. It's not universal and it changes, but it is really cool to throw out a command. Let's see if we can get it. Watch Stranger Things episode 2, season 1. Said that completely backwards. Okay, so that is the next step of voice integration, guys, is being able to go and call on specific content by name. Now, let's say I wanted to watch a movie. I'm gonna, I think he has Top Gun on this Kscape. Let's try that. Watch Top Gun. Okay, so that is going to switch over, pull up our Kscape, and go to our saved movie file. Let's say, now I don't know because the on-screen display isn't refreshed yet with the JVC. Let's say that Top Gun isn't physically on the Kscape. It's going to go find where you can stream Top Gun on, nope. Let me get out of this and pause that. Okay, so I just kicked out of the deposit. Now look at this integration from your Kscape. Yep, you've got the album art. You know how much time is left in the movie. Right from looking at the remote, guys, you can see we're 17 seconds into an hour and 50-minute movie, roughly. It's pretty cool. You can seek through it, fast forward through it. It's a really nice integration. Now, let's say I called Top Gun and it wasn't downloaded hard onto the Kscape, like I said earlier. It's then going to go find that. If it's Netflix, if it's something you can rent on Prime Video, it's going to pull that up. So your programmer sets your preference. So at this home or any home that involves a Kscape, Kscape is obviously the #1 search query anytime you request video content. Then we tier it. So at this house, we went from Top Gun. The one thing you got to be careful is you're a YouTube fanatic. I disable YouTube search because if you say something like watch Trailer Park Boys or something and he doesn't have deep dive, he may actually search YouTube for that content. YouTube, not TV, but YouTube, the video watching app. So that one I typically disable. If you're running into that where you're calling on movies and it's grabbing YouTube, just have your integrator disable YouTube as a deep dive search function, but it works great on, you know, your Netflix, your HBO, your Kaleidoscape, your Apple TV, Disney, so those type of things. So again, that's kind of how easy it is to find content. You guys saw me hit the voice command and run that, right? Look for Top Gun. That's once I'm holding the remote. If this room was off, I would have just said, hey, Josh, to the muted Josh that's in the back of the room right now. Watch Top Gun. No button press. We've got a default volume set on the AVR. So at that point, the homeowner can just walk in, the movie's playing. They don't even have to pick up the remote. The remote's back there on this table. They can just sit down, their movie's rolling. And again, they can always stop it via the remote, control through the phone, or just throw a voice command to the Josh in the back of the room. So it's just trying to make sure that your control system is working for you and not that you are working to utilize the control system in your house. It's the biggest disconnect. I don't like calling a house where you have to bend to the way the house wants you to use it, a smart home. I think a smart home should be thoughtless on your side. The thought you should have is what you want the house to do. You should express that, whether it's physically touching a button or calling out a voice command. The home should do that without you having to change the way you want to interact with the home or follow a specific protocol for the home to follow your commands. So that's a quick breakdown on this. I'm just going to throw out a voice command again. We could do the power. And for this one, we'll go ahead and hit the button since I showed the tactile button on the side before. Turn off the theater. So sorry guys, when I said shut off the theater, I should have said turn off the projector, turn off the Kaleidoscape, something like that. I gave that global command. It shut off our lights. It closed our shades.
It shut the whole room down.
Yeah, it did what I said. It did what I said.
What you said.
It did.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It did. And again, just to show this off, probably not the best way to do this, but watch, let's say Kscape. And I have that acronym put in there for Kaleidoscape so that the homeowner can say Kscape, because that's what all the cool kids say anyway when they're referring to their movie streamer. And that translates to text. So it knows that I'm talking about the Kaleidoscape. It knows where we are. It's already, I heard the AVR turn on, our sub amps turn on, and our JVC is going to take a minute to boot here. They have about a 25-second, 30-second boot up process before the laser's fully running. We'll get a Dilla logo on the screen. There you go. Dilla logo.
DILA. Yeah, we got a JVC
NZ900 in here.
Yep.
So
one of the best JVCs. It's pretty sick picture.
It's nothing that a camera can do justice either. You got to be sitting in front of these projectors. So as you guys can see, it's a very snappy response. And what I love is this isn't an old feeling button. I mean, these, you can feel them. This is probably hard to tell. The larger square here is flat, smooth surface. The D-pad is raised. Yeah, so you have a raised back button once you've landed on the buttons in general. And then you've got a raised bump there around that circle, like a little curved slope. All that does is help you feel where your thumb is. Like when I grab this remote, if it was just a blank square, I'd be confused of where I am. Because I can feel the center of the circle and I know where select is, which is also a rounded button. I already know because I use this remote every day. Mutes there, plays there, menus there, backs there, fast forward, rewind, up, down.
So it kind of gives you more of a traditional feel.
Remote feel where you're
not just you're just chilling.
Yep.
Whereas like I hate it when it's nothing but touchscreen and then you have
which is why if it's right for you, it's right for you. Some customers love it. I do not like the fully touchscreen remotes. I do not like using tabletop touchscreens as a replacement for a remote. The last thing I want to do when I'm watching content is stare at my remote. This just takes that away. And again, you could interact with it from the touchscreen if you'd like. You can switch the room very easily here. So we're in the theater. As you can see, this remote is in the living room. You can switch these to any room in the house very quickly. And if it's got a media zone, you can switch it to it. So let me be specific there. Let's say I've got the mudroom, which has light loads, but doesn't have AV content. That's not going to be a selectable room from these remotes because they're video focused, right? So you can switch the remote to any room that has a video display, television, projector, video wall, whatever. And then from those rooms, you can control the devices locally in that media room, but I'm not going to be able to select a room with only one light load in it. Why are you doing that with a remote? Yeah, for that, you just throw a voice command at the remote. Okay. Or the house. So that's
I mean, think about this kind of like the switches that we've been discussing a lot on the channel recently with the Lutron Palladium and all the keypads. I mean, it's the same thing. All of the information for the control system is stored within the processor, and these are just devices that are through three-way communicating back to that processor, just like a keypad on the wall.
Yeah.
Except for this has a lot more functionality and features built into it than a keypad, but essentially it's working very similar.
Yeah, and this is just, again, a live look at a Roku integration, which basically mirrors Apple TV's IP integration from the end user standpoint, as well as an active movie on the Kaleidoscape in the background with our Top Gun art. So beyond that, you can also quick call on scenes. Got a little scene button and the device button. We'll show them both. So since I'm in the theater, you can see I've got a music zone. I've got my screen shades that are closed and my lights that are all dimmed, with the center cans right above our head dimmed down to 24% so that we're not getting blown out image. Now over here, I've got a movie time button. That's my favorite, so I can physically interact with it. But the coolest thing, Zach, is any scene is callable via voice. So I walk into this room, I say, okay, home, movie time. I'm not going to run it here because we flag names, but this theater specifically, this can happen in your theater. The AVR turns on while the projector's booting. Josh speaks through the massive focal system in here and says, welcome to the blank home, family home theater. Sit down, grab your popcorn, relax. Your movie will be ready shortly. By the time that prompt finishes, we've got our DILA logo on the screen. They're in their seats. Movie's running.
I like
it automatically dims the lights, and it's a 2-minute dim fader from that command. So that means you walk in, you throw the command, you're not quite ready, doesn't just black out the room. It's going to be a slow fade for you to get comfortable, start picking out your movie. By the time you select something, it's going to go. And guys, since Kaleidoscape does native Lutron integration now, I want to push that because nobody's pushing it, not Lutron, not Kaleidoscape. If you have a Lutron system in your theater and you don't have an overdeveloping control system in the house, but you've got a Kaleidoscape, you can hook up your Lutron software directly to Kaleidoscape and program different light settings for different stages of a movie. Did I pause the movie? Is it intermission time? Is it the end of the movie for credits? And you assign light values for each one of those. Now, of course, you can manually do that in Josh or Control 4 or URC or whatever, but for an end user, it's the only way I know that they can hook up Lutron to communicate with their theater without a third-party control system involved. So that's also being utilized here. So Josh isn't thinking about that. They press pause during a movie. The rear lights come up. The center lights stay off. The fireplace can comes on. Intermission, everything comes on to a low lit level. At credits, everything ramps up over 2 minutes. All of these ramp up slowly in the middle of a movie. The last thing I want to see in a smart theater with lighting is I press pause and every light load comes on to 100%. That's rancid. You react, physically to a light change that much. So all of these are soft ramps up, soft ramps down. So you press play, the lights are fading down. You're never being stunned by the change in lights, your eyes. So that's just all based on your programmer taking the time to do that. But that's some of the cool stuff we can do here. And again, as an end user, once your system's set up, you can add any scene you want without calling me to roll a truck, to program from my house. This homeowner does that a lot. He'll set up good morning commands, maybe certain shade commands, and you do those via text. You literally can just text the system.
So really, I mean, this is, as far as control systems go, a DIYer's dream.
After it's
because you can call your installer, your programmer, get it all set up, and then you can still make changes. That's one of the most frustrating things for a lot of guys who like to do stuff themselves, DIYers, is they're like, I don't want to be locked out of my own system.
Yeah, and not just that, but let's say you find a way in. Maybe your buddy is Zach, so he gives you a login to something he shouldn't have, so that you as an end user can work on your own control system. I do see that from guys that are programmers in the past. Well, you have to know to program for that language specifically. You just have to text Josh English and it decodes it into learning on the back end. So since we just brought that up, all right, so I opened my app, and again, you see that microphone muted. The Josh in here is muted because we're saying his name repeatedly. You can change the way it calls to Nicola, where you just say the word Nicola. You can say, okay, home, hey Josh, okay, Josh, or Nicola. More coming, and I didn't dive into this, but they just released an AI voice integration. So now there's literally thousands of different voices for Josh to speak back to on. You can pick, different accents, different genders, whatever you want, however you want the Josh system to sound. It used to just be the stock Josh voice when you plug it in, which we are running here. His new home is running like an Australian accent. It's really cool. And I've got like a British one at my house right now, so I'm always playing around with it. But let's go ahead and talk about your freedom as someone that bought this system can actually utilize the controls. Okay, got 24 shades open, 2 videos on, 36 on. It's 45 degrees outside. I can click on recent activity here and see what's been happening in the home. So home activity is going to be devices Josh recognizes, right? So you can see we turned on the living room, we turned the theater on, theater lights on, off, yada, yada. And then you've got commands where you can see what Josh actually heard, what you asked for. So if there's a discrepancy, you can view back on what the discrepancy was. This is also super helpful for me as an integrator. If I get a client that says, hey, the lights work for me or they don't work for my wife. Well, that's because you're calling them the cans, she's calling them recessed. Maybe that's not in the programming. Then I can see where the discrepancy was with Josh, add those as call words. And again, without me involved, Josh will add those call words over enough mistakes when corrected. It is an AI software. It is currently learning how you communicate with it, how your home operates, and getting better at it.
It doesn't take many times either. When they did that test, Zedia, and I was sitting in my seat doing the demo, he messed it up on purpose to show the AI correct him. And it was like after the second time of messing it up, the third time, it nailed it.
Yeah.
Without them doing it.
And that's now in the programming forever. So that's really cool. All right, so we got off topic because this app is just so cool. I've got my home screen. Everything's right here. Biggest pet peeve with other control softwares, they drop you in a room. You open your app, you're in the theater.
Yeah.
Or you're in the living room. You're not on the home. I'm on the home. All right. See that button on the very top right? We've got our home, our areas, our individual devices, and our scenes. We're going to click on our scenes real quick. All right. And those are our preset scenes. Let's add a scene and pretend that I'm a homeowner. My system's been deployed by Chase. It's ready to go. I don't want to call him and pay him to add a lighting scene in a dining room. So it's got some preset names here. Since it's the dining room, why don't we do breakfast? Okay, you can create the scene however you want. You can change the photo here. You can AI generate an image or pick from stocks. So let's say country breakfast and see what the AI generates for our background image for the scene. Now for a scene, does the image really matter? No. This translates to everything in the home though. The room pictures, if you don't want pictures of your actual rooms, the pictures of the property per se, the background image. And it is using it is making this image off of a video AI processor on command. So it's not the quickest, but
Well, it's like if you guys have used ChatGPT, sometimes it takes it a minute with just to think. But that was not, no, it was what, 10 seconds?
Yeah, I can generate a new image. We're going to select this image. So now it's going to upload it because obviously that just happened in the AI software, not there. Okay, so that's our breakfast scene photo. We're going to hit next. And here's where the magic happens. So we've got 3 tabs: actions, triggers, responses. Actions are what happens, right? Obviously, what devices change state, what happens. Triggers, what causes that? Is that a prompt word? Is that an event in the day? Is it a time of the day? Is it a motion sensor? Whatever it is, you can do that. So let's talk about the add action because this is where you guys are going to do most of your stuff. So there's 2 prompts here, right? It says what happens, action, add action, and then advanced editor. Let's start with our add action here. So we're going to hit add action, add device. We're going to go to lights. Then we're going to, let's go ahead and condense outside. We don't need that. Condense our game room. Now, this isn't typical, guys, because there are 300 light loads in this house almost. So this is
a hard one.
Yeah.
Changes on.
Yeah.
This homeowner's probably just calling you to make some changes.
Or you just text it. But I want to break down both ways that you can pick an event. Maybe I should have picked shades. Okay, dining room. So we're going to go ahead and select the dining room group command is all the lights. Or I can come here and individually pick my chandelier, my cans, and my accents. Let's just do that. I don't need the hallway entrance. What percentage do you want those lights on? Now you can set them individually, but because I grabbed all 3 of them at the same time, we're just gonna say it's breakfast. I mainly want sunlight. We just want some glow lights so you can see what's happening on the kitchen counter. So we'll do 30, and again, 1% control thanks to Lutron of every lighting load. And now you can see now we've got a what happens, set dining kitchen to 35% brightness. Okay, well, let's go ahead and trash that command and show you how easy it is to just tell Josh what you want. Okay, turn on dining lights to 35%. I'm gonna go ahead and test that. The lights are now set to 35% brightness. That's just a confirmation that Josh understood my command. Okay, now we're gonna listen to lo-fi music in great room at 20%. And we're gonna save. So now you can see that's just human understandable text that's translated to code on the back end. And he knows to talk to Lutron for the lights, to talk to Sonos and audio control for the distributed audio. That's all done. I can test run my scene here as well. Again, as you put in the text command, text it individually. What I love about this is the homeowner can be creative, be free, play around with the tech. once that happens, if they mess something up, I open up the technician portal. I can see the discrepancy. I can fix it within 5 minutes. No big ordeal. I didn't waste any of my time. The homeowner didn't wait to schedule me, wait for me to roll the van, pay a couple hours labor for the trip. Now I'm gonna go to triggers, so we can add our triggers here and we can name our triggers. So at a specific time, when a device state changes, when the weather changes. Now that's really cool. How cool is that? It's over.
It's amazing.
Yeah. The sun's out bright, close the shades. It's overcast, open up the windows, things like that. And with this home, we don't even play around with that because we've got Lutron's new QSX updates involved, which automatically tracks sun movement for us. I input where the window is, the coordinates of the home, and it knows when the sun's on the west side of the house, closes the shades automatically without the homeowner doing anything. The house transitions over top. There's no sun glare coming directly into the home. All the shades open. When the sun's setting, that side of the house shades close. Really cool stuff.
That's so important. Even for the lighting, not only the shades, but the lighting. I mean, totally different type of lighting if it's cloudy versus if it's sunny.
Yeah. And it really matters. So we're going to hit at specific time here. And then we're just going to do, how about we say 7:30 a.m. we wake up, and we only want that to happen on our weekdays. So there's our triggers for that event. Now I'm going to do my responses. You've got a couple options here, and this is solely for fun. This has no purpose other than fun. In my household, the commands change all the time. Like I said, okay, Josh, good night. And he said, see you later, butthead, last night, because other people at the home are changing the custom responses.
Oh,
yeah. So you could do a beep. You could tell Josh not to respond at all. You can have him use the default response, which would be the breakfast scene is now run, or I can do custom responses, add as many of these as I want. So wake up, let's get that bread. Done. Let's add another one, rise and shine. And that's gonna be a random number generator, pick those. So if you have 100 here, he's just gonna randomly scroll through it. But anyway, that's how easy it is to build a scene that's triggering lights and music at a specific time of day on a custom response in Josh, no integrator involved. This is the homeowner facing app. This is not my integrator side. I can move the command specifically to a certain area, change the scene name, add other call words. So in my house, nighttime, good night, see you tomorrow. Those all trigger the good night command in the house. So you can mix and match. Everybody can say what feels native to them. You can pin these to specific rooms. So when you open up the room, that's a pinned command for the room. If it's a hot command, like maybe in the mud room is where you turn all the lights on and off every time. Maybe you hot command all the lights in the home to the mud room on the screen display, or maybe your master, you've got like the good night button that locks the doors, arms the security system, closes the shades, turns off all the lights except for like walking lights. You can have that pinned to the master bedroom however you want it. So we're going to go ahead and back out of here. And now I've got my breakfast command with my AI generated image right at the bottom that I did with no integrator involved. I paid for the system. They deployed the system. So you can add commands as you'd like. You can change the pictures, change the responses, change the device's control, text it, pick specific things. You can get really crazy with it, guys. But that is what the end user experience is for creating scenes. This is the only super modern tech forward platform I know that the homeowner actually has control of the gears.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. If you want the sauciest remote on the market with the most industry-leading tech-forward features, reach out today. Here at Dream Media, we are always on a journey to deliver the ultimate experience. We want the best service, the best products, and we want you guys to have the best experience. That's what it's all about. With these smart home products, it's all about ease of use. We want you to either give a voice command, touch a button, very, very simple ways to control your home. And we have so many different third-party manufacturers that we bring together under one umbrella to where you can't even tell. You walk into the home, you give a voice command, you press a button on the wall or the touch screen, or you bust out your phone. Any of those options, you can easily control your home. Today, we gave a review of the Josh Cinema Remote, which is one of our industry-leading control platforms. If you're interested in learning more about Josh.ai, reach out today for a free consultation. We would love the opportunity to earn your business and hand curate a package specific to your home, your budget, and needs. Reach out today. We would love the opportunity to earn your business. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative in helping you make a buying decision. If you like this video, give me a big thumbs up and don't forget to smash that subscribe button down below for more. Till next time, this is Zach and Chase with Dream Media. Thanks for watching guys, we'll catch you on the next one.